corpse pose. The final pose for today is the favorite pose of every single yoga student. It's called the corpse pose or Savasana. And the reason why it's called the corpse pose is because you are lying all the way out on the mat, on your back, and you are essentially devoid of any movement, like a corpse. Even though it has a bit of a gruesome name, this is a favorite of any yoga student because this is the pose that you finish your yoga practice with. This is the pose where you get to really relax and soak in all of the benefits and process all of the benefits and all of the goodness that you generate during the yoga practice. Something I want to note here: do not, under any circumstances, skip this pose, no matter how rushed you are. Even if you have to cut your yoga practice like right now, any second, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, be in that pose. This pose, this is where you really bridging your yoga practice with the rest of your life. This is the pose where all of the energies that you stirred up during the yoga practice, they get to settle in your body and do its magic. There's absolutely no wrong way to take a corpse pose. But one thing that I want to show is that, especially for beginners, just lying on the floor may be super uncomfortable. Traditionally, you would be lying on the floor, kind of letting your body naturally lay on the floor, palms facing up, feet are splaying to the sides. Now, after yoga practice, you may feel that there's a bit of a tension in your lower back, maybe your neck is a little bit tense, and this is where we get to use our props. A couple of things: you can have a towel or a blanket, and you can place it, or a block, you can place it under your head. This is oh, so nice. This is a nice cushion for your head. Another thing that you can do here is you can take a towel and place it under your knees. So you have really tight hips and tight lower back, and you've done a lot of hips and lower back. Your lower back will feel very tense and it will almost like feel like it's seized. When you place your towel or a bolster under your knees in a corpse pose, it helps to release the tension in the lower back. So that's another way of doing that. And finally, another option is to have a towel right under your lower back. Now, this is a little bit more on the extreme side because it really curves your spine, so it may not be super comfortable for you right away, but this is actually super beneficial for the lower back. So this is something that you would want to do once in a while, and once you've been practicing yoga for quite some time. So for now, I would just say stick with the towel under your knees, the towel under your head, or no props at all. Remember, this pose is your resting pose. This is where you get to rest, and you don't even have to use props unless you feel that you need to use them. What we want to be doing in this pose, though, is definitely closing our eyes. We want to completely let go of our breath, like not focusing on the breath, not trying to control it, and really just relax. Let your mind fly away, and you will notice that this will have a very special type of a feeling after your yoga practice. This is where you will experience a sense of serenity, peace, sense of calmness. Your body will be tingling with vibrations. You'll have this interesting effect that you will notice. But you will only notice if you do the corpse pose. That's why it's super important to do it at the end of the practice. This is where you can really feel the effects of yoga on your physical body. And after you've been holding Savasana for 60 seconds, maybe to 5 minutes. I mean, you can hold it for 10, 20 minutes. Some people actually even fall asleep in this pose. You're going to come out of this pose in the following manner. So we're going to shift to one side of the body. Remember, we have to do this very slowly, not just yanking our body and rushing off. Knees are folded. One hand acts as a cushion for your head. And then with the other hand, we're going to slowly prop ourselves up into sitting. And that will be the end of the practice. So this transition can be done with open eyes or closed eyes. It really depends how you feel. And obviously, this is how we will be ending our yoga practice. So just to recap, today we learned how to start the yoga practice in an easy sitting pose. We learned how to breathe in an easy sitting pose and then take that breath, the warrior breath, and use it throughout the entire practice. We also learned how to take a break to rest our body during the yoga practice in the child's pose. And then we'll learn how to relax at the end of the practice in the corpse pose and then return back to where we started in an easy sitting pose, thus completing the entire circle of the practice.